So now we're going to learn to mark the x-rays, do lateral cervical x-ray markings. The first thing we're going to do is count the vertebra. And the reason you do that is it helps you to see each vertebra separately, to pick up pathology, and it comes in handy later on when you're marking. You're going to start with the cervicals because you're going to need to do lateral cervicals to see what T1 and T2 are doing. So the first thing we're going to do is count the vertebra. And remember, don't put the number where you need to see something, so don't put stuff in the spaces. Now we're going to do the condyle line. So you put a dot where the condyle meets the front and the back of the skull, and a dot in the middle of the tubercle and in the middle of the arch. Now we're going to look at the dens like this, and put a dot in the middle of the first third. In the second third, we're also going to put dots in the inferior margin of each vertebra. Try to get right on the tip. If you're off a millimeter, it can change what you see. When you have spurs, try to see what that vertebra would look like without the spurs. Here I can't do the inferior margin, so I'm doing the superior margin. Okay, so here's the condyle line. And here's the C1 line. We're connecting these two dots. Okay. Here's the dens line that shows me it's the angle of C1 on C2. Okay, now this is showing me, this one on the dens on C2 is showing me the angle of C2 on C3. And now we'll do the easy part. We're just connecting these inferior margin dots. Oh, look at C5. C5 really changes the angle. C6 really changes the angle. It's going down. And 7 starts to come up. And here's 1. Okay, so now what we want to know is which line crosses the one below first? And so if we're looking in this area, we don't know yet if C5 is crossing C7 first or if C7 is crossing T1 first. So put your parallel back on the line and roll it down and put a little check where it crosses. Now I'm going to do the same with C7. I'm going to roll it down and it crosses right here. So we can see that C7 crosses T1 before C6 crosses C7. So we're going to list C7 as our inferior vertebra.